Okay, so we're back. I thought I was going to be able to get away with not talking about it, but I mean, my. Okay, so I do a lot of spiritual work, guidance on the internet because this creates distance and it also creates boundaries. Every once in a while, I will come in contact with a twin flame, and depending on how I connect with that twin flame, it will manifest spiritually, you know. I know they say as above, so below, but I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I've noticed that sometimes it's not always as above, so below. Sometimes it's as below, so above. Okay, so as I'm connecting to somebody, right? So recently, I have joined this environment, and there is an individual to where, as soon as I come into the building, the moment he looks at me, I start hearing his thoughts. Okay. So when I first walked in, it's kind of like he says, "Wow, she's beautiful." And at first I was thrown off by that because I'm just like, is he talking to me? You know what I'm saying? So, and this happens. I had a twin flame over the summertime that I ran into. Immediately, I could hear his thoughts when we first, connected with each other. So, I said, "Oh, baby, here we go again." You know what? This time, we're not creating or manifesting anything. So I have actually asked God to really help me with this situation here, because I am aware of the things in which that went wrong over the summertime when I met my twin flame. It was a very big lesson, and I was very happy about that. It was very, it was a little torturing, because I could feel and pick up so much about this individual. It seems like the more space that goes in between the twin flame connections, the more intense it is, because there's so much that you feel that has been lit inside of you, the things that you want to say. And a lot of my male twin flames, they're so good at hiding the shit. They're so good at it. And I'm just like, this looks crazy to me because you're like real still on the surface, but in your mind, you have all of these loving thoughts towards me, and it's just like you sound like a robot from what you're saying, but your thoughts are so beautiful of me. But twin flames is a very intense connection, so hey, it goes from love to hate very quickly. And what I've noticed is when the twin flame does not stay true to how they feel, this is when things start to get shaky and dark. They start to run away. When I first started, like kind of mentoring with the twin flames, I would chase after them, because it's just, I'm thinking to myself, like, oh no, you're going to face me, you're going to face yourself, and we're going to deal with this. We're going to get over this hump. Oh no, that's not how it works. That's not how it works, because you're going to experience like different twin flames coming into your life. And what is safe to me physically, what is safe when I meet a twin flame physically, it's just best for me to plant the seeds. But you know, um, my time is very limited within this environment. So, because I was asking, I'm just like, why so limited? Like, what's up? Like, I'm not understanding what the fuck is going on here. I'm in the dark once again. I get frustrated, and I get a little irritated when I'm not in control, when I really don't know what's going on. So I said, you know what? Fuck it. Just fuck it. Fuck it. Because anytime that I deal with frustrating thoughts, the individual that I connect to is kind of like the thought of them just distracts me from trying to figure shit out. So I'm just like, that's why I kind of got frustrated, because I'm just like, you know, it's a lot of stimulation, right? Can't even truly explain it. So with this individual, immediately I'm just like, oh God, this is a twin flame. And just like everybody else, just like the last one from the summertime, he knows how to shield himself. I'm trying, why is everybody so tall? Why is everybody so tall? My twin flame in the summertime was tall. I'm just like, I'm getting tired of having to look up all the time. I feel like my neck is about to fall off, because this guy is like really tall, and I'm just like, oh baby, here we go again. So, I just ignored it. You know what I mean? And the thing is that, he is a nice looking guy. And I mean, I'm not wooed by a pretty face. You understand? Because there are other good looking guys within this environment too. I'm just, I didn't come, that's not what I'm there for. So, I mean, and, because of who I am, the look, I look past the look, but I didn't look past the look, but then I heard his thoughts. I'm just like, oh, this is something more than just fucking, this is something more than just, fucking connection. This is a twin flame. So, you know, um, my thing is that, he started, I'm just like, yeah, so, have you seen, I'm looking for such and such, I can't find them. So he starts talking, and he has an accent. And I'm just like, oh, I'm just like, okay. So so the thing is that, like, now I'm really thrown off because, I mean, it's giving exotic. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, oh my goodness. There's so much about this person that is going to attract me to him. But I'm already connecting to somebody. So what is happening is, and this is how this shit works. I don't know if it's just me or if it's other people. When I'm connecting to somebody in spirit, sometimes it's kind of like, it's like a false twin flame will physically appear in my life. And if I don't know that it's a false twin flame, I will manifest a false twin flame in the spirit too. So who I am connecting with now, we are connecting spiritually. So this is going to be a false version of this person that I am connecting to. Okay, so I have already picked that up. I've picked that up from the last experience in the summertime that I had, you know. Because the thing is that you'll tell yourself, oh, I manifested my twin flame into a soulmate. But this connection is more than just soulmate. It's twin flame soulmate. So I'm just like, oh shit, this one is going to be tricky. So, uh I had kind of been having issues with the individual that I'm connecting to spiritually. I know how I feel about this person. Emotionally and mentally, things have been unstable, but I mean, relationships are unstable. So I'm not just going to jump on the first John, because I'm having some issues. I'm not going to disconnect from that individual to connect with somebody else just because there's a rough patch right now. And to be quite honest, a lot of it has to do with me. A lot of what I'm going through is because of me. It's not because of him. When things are going on between us, I have no problem with addressing certain things with him. He's very talented too, so I'm pretty sure that he's testing me. And so I mean, it's just like, well, I have to be true to myself. Me and this individual, he's kind of get on my nerves a little bit, and I don't really feel how I want to feel right now by him. But I know that I love him. So I mean, I'm not, like I said, relationships that they get rough. I'm not gonna throw it away just because I'm unstable. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not walking away. God damn it! If some shit doesn't work, it ain't gonna be because of me. You understand what I'm saying? I take pride in that. I can't live with the one that got away. I can't live with that. I can't live with passing up on true love. I can't live with that. I can't live with it, honey. I've seen people go their whole life, like, just in regret that I just can't do it. If true love doesn't choose me, I can live with that. Okay? But I can't be the one. I can't be the one to fuck it up. You understand? I cannot hurt myself like that. You know what I'm saying? I can't do it. If I got to look like a fool, if I got to look crazy, then fine. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to, but I cannot be the one to walk away from true love. I can't be the one. I can't live with that for the rest of my life. Because you'll never be able to fake it. You'll never, for the moment, there'll be points and periods in time within your life to where you can distract yourself, but you're always going to come back to that true love. I can't do it. I've seen people suffer in ways it's I can't do it. So this is what I'm saying. So I mean, so even though I'm unstable, I'm not going to just move on to the next, you know. So I encountered that individual one time, and the second time that I had to encounter them, I'm just like, why do I feel his eyes on me? Why do I feel like every time I walk past him, he's watching me? Why do I feel like, and the thing is, I know he's watching me, so I'm not even going to look up and see him watching me. It's so intense. I said, oh my God, it's like a predator. He's hunting me. Okay. So the thing is that our environment creates boundaries. Ooh, thank God for that. Okay. And the times that I have to be there is very limited. Thank God for that. Okay. So, this second time around, this is more so of confirmation, you know. So I'm not, there when I get close to him, when I had to walk past him, there were things that I could hear. He's questioning himself. Why does he feel the way that he feels? Why do I feel like this? Why is she making me feel like this? I'm like, oh my goodness, here we go. Here we go. So, when my time was over with being in this environment, I just packed up. I usually tell everybody, like, yeah, guys, I'll see you, another time, blah, blah, blah. I just got my shit together and I just walked out of there. So later on that night, the individual that I'm already connecting to, I'm just like, I just need some space because, I feel like you're not respecting me. Because this individual, he came into my home. This is another part of the spiritual experience. He came into my home like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, waking me up. So in his physical reality, he was out having a wild night, and hanging out or what have you. So then when he comes in, he gonna wake me up. And I'm just like, if you're gonna come in from a wild night, like let me rest because there's somewhere I have to be in the morning time. I need you to be considerate of that. I don't have to, there's not much I have to do every morning. But you're going to pick the morning before I have to get ready to go in and do what I have to do for you to come up in here and you're making all this noise, waking me up out of my sleep. And the thing is that the energy, it's not like he was waking me up with love. He had attitude. I'm just like, well, do you want to talk? Like, what's up? So I let him know, like, I don't like your attitude right now. I don't like your energy right now. It seemed like you have an attitude with me, but you are the one disturbing me. Now, if I didn't have to be where I had to be, I wouldn't have cared. So, but the thing is that, well, I have something to do in the morning and I need you to be considerate. And then it's kind of like you're coming all up, you're walking all up in here like you're entitled to some shit. It's just the wrong time. It's just the wrong morning. I just felt a lot of entitlement from him and it disappointed me. So when I go off and I got to handle my business, he's on my mind. I'm thinking about the events that happened, and see, I'm distracted from dealing with this dude that I'm dealing with in the physical. But the thing is that, I'm picking up on stuff, but at the same time, I'm trying to avoid him too. Then on top of that, I have things going on the inside with me. So now I'm here in this place and I'm having a fucking emotional breakdown. And I got to sit up here and I got to cover it up and I got to hide the shit. And, I don't want no, I can't tell. What am I going to tell? What am I going to say to people if they ask me, what's wrong with you? What am I going to say? I'm gonna look fucking crazy, right? So I'm trying to deal with it, purge it, feel it, let it out, but at the same time, I'm trying to maintain. So anyway, with all of this, you know, closer to later on that night, I had told that individual, I'm just like, look, man, I need some space because it's like it's hurting me. It's like it's taking me away. It feels like it's taking me away from me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's too much, right? So when we have that conversation, then all of a sudden I start thinking about this other guy. It's like I'm tuned in. It's like something just shifts and I can hear this other man thinking about me, you know. So, the guy, he's sitting there and I'm listening and he's trying to figure out his feelings for me. And he knows that we have a telepathic connection. Now, the thing is that you have to be careful too, because sometimes these motherfuckers be body hijacking out here. You understand what I'm saying? But honestly, I could feel that, it's a false, it's just a false twin soulmate. That's all. So I'm talking to him, because he knows that we have a telepathic connection. So finally, we just have the breakthrough to where we start telepathically communicating, and I'm telling him about this other guy. And he's just like, well, you know, he's stressing you out right now. And, you just need some time away from him. Just take a break, just use me as a distraction, and I'm thinking to myself, that sounds good. But do I really need any more distractions in my life? No, I really don't. And if I'm going to give my attention, my energy, and I'm putting spirit into you, oh no. Like you're getting good energy out of me. So it's like I'm paying you. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, I know who you are, I know what you are. So it's going to be a waste of my time and it's going to be a waste of my effort. It's going to be purposeless for me to get into you, because in this place, this is the twin flame soulmate. But in our physical reality, what you truly are is temptation. That's what he is. He's temptation. Like, no, I'm not going to fall into temptation, and especially not within the environment to where we met. That's why we met here, because we were meant to meet, but we were meant to have a lot of boundaries. So, I mean, I pretty much, I was very polite, when I spoke to him. And I just told him, it's for me, it's not going to work. And you are my twin flame soulmate. I care about you and I love you a lot. And I know that the purpose of our meeting is not to be together. That's not what it's meant to be. There's something that either you must learn or I must learn, or maybe we're going to have to learn together. I love my twin flames, even when they act crazy as hell. That's what it's all about. It's all about love. That doesn't mean romantic love, even though sometimes you do experience romantic love with somebody. But my thing is, I don't experience that physically with them, because physically they're all full of shit, and with who I am. And when it comes to my life, that's way too risky. I cannot take those types of risks. I don't want to take those type of risks. So, I had told him, because he's married. He tried to tell me that he wasn't married, but he's married. And I'm going to tell you, in this environment, there's an extraterrestrial. And she told me he was married. But in spirit, he's trying to lie to me. I said, ooh, there it is. That's that temptation. On the ground, he's temptation. In spirit, he's a liar. So that is his demon, that he's a lying spirit. So I said he's a trickster. So even though I know that, once again, it's all about the love. So, I told him, I'm just like, it's not going to happen. And I know that you're married. I would never hurt you. I would never hurt your wife. I would never hurt nobody that you love. I would never try to mess up anything within your life. You know what I'm saying? And I told him, I said, we are meant for something more, something bigger. And it's not what you think. This is when I realized why there was so much distance between me and this environment. And then on top of that, me and this individual were in two different positions. He has a more he oh, excuse me, he has a more superior position than I do. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, I've already made it clear, like, no. But even though I say no, I know that God has brought us together for a different purpose. So I am open to that. But obviously I got a lot of help up in here because these extraterrestrials are up in here. Okay, so I'm just like, oh baby, you know, I see it. I can see it. Because that extraterrestrial, that woman, she was, she, it won't even her. It was really a man. Okay, when I say that, meaning that the extraterrestrial is it's a male extraterrestrial. It's a masculine. Okay, but he's projecting through her. So I'm just like, okay, I'm starting to see, where I belong, and I'm starting to see the unhealed parts of myself within people too, with dealing with that twin flame soulmate, that's in that same environment. So I'm gonna tell you, my peoples are the extraterrestrials. So I mean, they're there, they got my back, they're telling me the truth to where my twin flame soulmate is trying to lie to me. So I'm just like, I'm okay with the lying. It's okay that you be lying because I can see it. I can't take it personal because there's a bigger picture here. And with all of us in this environment, I'm just like, whoa, like this is some new level shit for me. I'm so glad that I'm limited because I cannot. I'm glad I was not just thrown into this environment because I don't know, I'll probably lose my mind. But now that I know what's going on, I'm just like, okay. I'm just like, okay, I know, because, and it's crazy because it's the older individuals, you know. Now, these people, this guy, he's older than me, you know what I'm saying? But I work with individuals who are like 60 plus years old. Those are my people, okay? Those are my people. Those are them extraterrestrials, okay? So, I mean, I'm just like, okay, I get it. I see it. I get what's happening. I see how I'm protected. I see where the temptation is. I see what to stay away from, who to stay away. I see it. So I'm just like, okay, I got a grip. I got a grip. I got a grip. I'm happy. And don't get me wrong, because, it's all projections. The extraterrestrials can come in and out, and I'm just dealing with normal average human beings to where there's no projection coming through them. you know my great grandmother is there too. She has projected through individuals within that environment too. So I'm just like, I'm covered, I'm good. They're going to keep me, they're going to help me, they're going to keep me focused, they're going to help keep me, they're my support system. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. you know so so I cut off the telepathic communication. I haven't really communicated or, with the individual that I have been connecting to. I just need some space. I just need some space. I just kind of need some space. But like I said, this morning they came in with the love, but in following the love came the darkness. So we were only able to connect for a little bit of time. You know, so I mean, yeah, story of my life, right? Yeah. So now I'm just chilling, just living, you know. I'm being squeezed. So, I mean, all of the juices are coming out. So, I mean, I'm going to, after I make this video, I'm just going to chill and relax, because I absolutely need to relax. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Wow. There's definitely a difference with with the animal kingdom, and then it's kind of like the galaxy kingdom, you know. God. Oh baby, this some new level shit. This some new level shit. It's some new level shit, definitely. So now I can be more optimistic about things. I have a little more clarity. Of course, there are going to be some challenges. Of course, there are going to be some struggles. There's going to be some opposition, but I'm okay. I'm okay. Ooh, child, just gotta take it one day at a time. I guess take it one day at a time. Oh my goodness. Good. Okay. But I feel like there are more people for me to get to know. You know what I'm saying? Like more projections to where individuals are going to introduce themselves to me. So I really look forward to that. You know, I know where to put my focus. So I feel a lot better about the situation, about everything now, you know. But we're just going to wrap it up here. So until the next time, we'll talk again. Thank you.